guys, let's eat. Dr. Wendy in the house. Look guys, today I am making roasted corn with smoked salmon chowder with saffron and thyme. Well, today that's the official title of the recipe, but today I'm actually not going to roast the corn, which is done in a skillet for all intents and purposes, no oil, in a skillet. But I couldn't actually find the corn that I wanted. Nothing actually tasted really good, and it's usually done with corn on the cob. But because I am actually substituting with frozen organic roast corn or frozen organic corn, I won't be roasting it today. So I promise that I will bring a segment as soon as corn gets back into season and it's tasting off the hook. I will bring a segment on how to roast the corn, and then you'll know how to put it together with the roasted corn. So for today, it's going to be corn with smoked salmon, saffron, and thyme chowder. This is dairy-free, it's gluten-free, and it is off the chain. So guys, let's take a look to see what we have on our cutting board. We have an array of things on our cutting board today. We have half a cup of a medium size yellow onion. We have one large carrot, and that's diced. This is also diced. We have one large carrot that's diced. We have 2 celery stalks which have been sliced up. We have 4 cloves of garlic that I have put through a crusher, or it's finely minced. You need to make sure it's finely minced. And we have, there are about 3 sprigs of thyme here, fresh thyme. You can actually use dry thyme, and you would use just under, maybe about 1/4 teaspoon, maybe just under 1/2 teaspoon. Okay. We have 1 russet potato, and also known for the people in the UK, King Edward's potato. So we have 1 russet potato that has been cut into cubes, and to try and keep it fairly even because you want it to cook evenly. We have here 8 ounces of smoked salmon, 2 cups of corn, and as I said, I'm using the frozen corn, organic frozen corn, which I got from Costco's, because I couldn't find any corn on the cob that tasted right. I have half a cup of green peas. I have 2 cups of coconut cream, and I use the Thai coconut cream in this soup. You can actually use regular coconut cream. You can use cow's milk, half and half. I would use half and half. So you can definitely do that. I have here a cup of, this is chicken stock, but not made from chickens. So it's vegetarian chicken stock. And I have 8 ounces of clam juice. Now, if you don't like clams, if you don't like shellfish, you can leave that out and just add another cup of stock, to your soup. I have here some liquid smoke, and of course my cooking oil of choice happens to be avocado oil. You can definitely use olive oil, canola oil, any kind of oil that you like. I have, as my thickening agent, I have 1 tablespoon, actually that's just a little over a tablespoon of potato starch. You can definitely use cornstarch. I have a teaspoon of salt and 3/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I have a half a teaspoon of Italian herbs, dried Italian herbs or seasoning. I have a teaspoon of turmeric or turmeric. I have a pinch, guys, a pinch of saffron. That's one of the most expensive herbs in the world, saffron. And I have 2 tablespoons here of cream sherry. Also into this soup, I am going to put some red pepper, and these are Fresno peppers, so they're kind of hot. They got a little kick to them, but nothing major. Nothing major. And of course, I have my prerequisite spring onions or green onions. So guys, that is what is on the cutting board, and I think I got everything. So without further ado, we're going to get started. On medium heat, we're going to add 2 tablespoons, actually that was a little bit more, but 2 tablespoons of your cooking oil. And it doesn't actually have to get hot before. We're going to add the onions. We're going to add all the onions. And what we're going to do is we're going to saute this, and we're going to let it sweat a little bit. The onions, the garlic, the celery, the thyme. We're going to let it sweat a little bit. Okay. There we go. Starting to do its thing. We're going to add the garlic. All of the garlic. And you need a big pot. It needs to take about 5 or 6 quarts. You need a big pot for this. And we're going to cook that. We're going to saute it just a little bit, and then we're going to allow it to get fragrance. That's what we're looking for, a really, really nice smell, and that's the thyme, everything. And then we're going to turn the fire down. Because I actually don't want it to brown. We're going to turn the fire down, put the lid on it for about 5 minutes or so, and let it sweat, because I don't want the garlic to brown. I just want it to cook and sweat and cook. Okay, so we're going to turn it on low, and we're going to put the lid on. And we're going to allow it to sweat. Okay, guys? Okay, so everything has, oh, this is nice. Everything is sweated out very nicely. As you can see, it's not browned or anything. And what we will do, we will actually take these sprigs out at some stage. Actually, to be honest, I usually leave them in. But we'll take them out at some stage. But for now, we're going to add the carrots. The potatoes, and we're going to turn it up just a smidgen. That sounded like it was too much. Just a smidgen. We're going to add the potatoes, the Italian seasoning, and we're just going to actually saute these just for a little bit. Turn the heat up just a bit more, and we're going to saute these. At this stage, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and I wouldn't add too much more than that. Let's put it this way, I wouldn't add more than 1/2 teaspoon, otherwise it will dominate the dish. Mix that in. That smells really, really good. Mix that really well. Okay, and the edges of the potatoes are beginning to look translucent, which is what you're looking for. I don't know if you can see that. We're getting a good shot of that, but the edges of the potatoes look translucent. I am now going to add the potato starch and mix that around, because it's going to make like a roux. and it's going to get dryish. Like that. And you can even hear it, how it actually stopped. It like slowed the cooking process or whatever it did. Okay. And keep moving it around. Turn your fire down ever so slightly. Okay, and you can use flour for this if you want, cornstarch as your thickening agent. And then into this, I'm actually going to add, first and foremost, the sherry. Okay. Add the sherry, that smells absolutely divine. And then I'm going to add, that's right, we'll turn the heat up now. I'm going to add the clam juice. That's the clam juice. And then what I'm going to do is, because it started to caramelize once the potato starch went in, I'm going to loosen that as it comes to a boil. I'm going to loosen that. And I'm now going to add the vegetable stock or the chicken stock or whatever stock you choose to use. Okay, we're going to put the lid on, bring it to a boil, turn the heat down and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes. And you can see it's already thickening up. You know, you can see it's already thickening up. So we're going to bring it to a boil, and once it's come to a boil we're going to turn it down and allow it to simmer. Okay, now this has been cooking for approximately 10 minutes. Now one of the things that you need to make sure is that your potatoes cook, but at the same time you don't want your potatoes to overcook. Alright, you really don't want them to overcook. Now it would be at this point that you would take the sprigs of thyme out. Okay, so you take the sprigs of thyme out at this point. Okay, and they truly are easy to fish out. Right? Okay, and then we are going to add the coconut milk to this and then bring it back up to, or the coconut cream, and bring it up back to the boil. And the coconut cream actually takes the place of half and half and cream that you typically use in chowder. I'm also going to add the turmeric, my salt and pepper, and my saffron, my pinch of saffron. Okay. So I'm going to add all of those, and then we're going to bring it all up to the boil again. As now the herbs and stuff start to infuse and the potato continues to cook. There you go. You see it's starting to do its thing, change colour. I'm going to add my corn and my peas, and then we're going to bring it to a boil. Okay guys, so let's crank that heat up, because once the potatoes are done, we are finito. And what will happen as the saffron begins to infuse, the colour gets darker and darker as the saffron infuses. So guys, we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to allow it to simmer for another few minutes. And we'll be right so it's simmered down, my potatoes are cooked, and now I'm going to just kind of finish it off. Now, if you taste it, now it might not have enough seasoning or might not have enough salt, but it's really important to remember that the smoked salmon is salty by nature. So we're going to add the smoked salmon, and we're going to add the peppers. And I didn't put the peppers in because I don't want them to cook down. I didn't want them to cook down with everything else. Wasn't the plan. So I'm going to add the peppers, and we are going to make sure that the salmon is warmed through. Then we're going to serve it up. We're going to taste it. We're going to taste it and see if we need to adjust the seasoning. See, look how that thickened up. Oh gosh, this is so good. So we're going to warm it seasoning. For me, it needs just a little bit more sherry. So I'm going to put in about another tablespoon cream sherry, mix that round and turn the heat off, and we're done. That's it. I'm going to garnish. Yeah, that's what it needed, a bit more sherry. I'm going to garnish with some more thyme, and that's just for aromatics, and it really does, it kind of sets it off. And then we're going to plate it up. There we have it. Corn, should be roasted corn, and smoked salmon chowder with saffron and thyme. This is the bomb. So now we're going to have a little taste, and we're going to see what this tastes guys, like. Now is the moment of truth. Let's see. I know it's hot. Oh, that is that is off the chain, and then some. You guys, I'm gonna go and eat a bowl or two of this. So guys, enjoy. Bon appetit. And before I say this, let's eat. One of the things that you can do, if you don't eat salmon or fish, or if you don't eat salmon, you can use shrimp, and that's raw shrimp. You put it in at the end. If you don't eat seafood, you can use chicken. If you don't eat, you know, like chicken, if you've got leftover ribs that have been smoked but that doesn't have the barbecue sauce on it, you can do that. You can use barbecued meat. Anything. You can use ham. You can use anything. When you get to the point where the meat needs to be put in, that's after everything's simmered down, that's when you can make your decision as to what it is that you want to go into your chowder. But this is for the pescatarians out there, and it is the It's off the chain. I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborn. Bon appetit! Come on, let's eat.